What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to the Lactic Acid podcast. I am your host, Dominique Smith, and today I have one of the best athletes in the country up at Kent State University. I got a chance to coach him back here in Orlando where I forgot how many state championships he won. What is like 10? Between 8 and 10.
Yeah, I think it was around 10.
Yeah, it's double digits.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. He was killing it at the first academy, and now he's up at Kent State making a name for himself. He is none other than Mr. Alex Shields. What's going on, big man? How you doing? It's good to see you.
Dude, nothing much. Just, going through every day, week by week, trying to get ready for this next season coming up. So, going pretty well.
Alex is a decathlon athlete up at the Kent State University in Ohio. And like I said, he dominated the scene in Florida. And we'll touch on that a little bit coming up, as well as some other topics. But I have to ask you this question, ask it to just about everybody on the show. If you had to pick a superhero to describe who you are as an athlete, who you rolling with?
Superhero. I'll say the Flash, just because it's tracks. So you gotta be with speed, and fastest out there. So I'm always gonna stick to it. Always gonna pick myself over everybody.
That is crazy because almost every sprinter, at least that I've talked to, has picked Flash.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Fred Curley, he picked Flash. Carrie Richardson picked Flash when I talked to her. So you're in great company there. Like I said, Alex, superstar decathlon athlete up at Kent State, had a big indoor season last year. Outdoor was weird for everybody with the pandemic, battling injuries and everything. But like you said, he's ready to go. So my first question to you, I'm not going to lie to you. So the first time I heard about Alex competing in a decathlete. So let's back up. Alex went to the first academy in Orlando. He comes from a freakishly athletic family.
That I do. Yeah, for sure.
Sister plays volleyball at South Carolina.
Yeah, she actually finished up this 2 years ago.
Okay.
So now she's volunteer coaching at the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
She's in our med program right now, so she's doing her own thing. She's rocking it. So
okay, that's what's up. So yeah, his sister, standout Division I athlete. His father was a track and field standout at the University of Pittsburgh, and now is an elite coach, coaching some of the talent around the country. And your mother was an Olympic long jumper.
Yes, yeah, that's what.
So the athletic genes run well in the Shields family. But Alex was a standout hurdler back in the day. And I got, a story I wanted your perspective on it when you were a freshman at the state championship meet. But he pretty much from the time he stepped on campus, dominated the hurdle scene, did not lose a state championship. Unfortunately, was robbed of a chance to compete at states due to this pandemic. Everybody stay safe. And then went to Kent State as a decathlon athlete. But when I worked with Alex, I was a shot put and discus coach. And so we started helping him out with the throws a little bit in the summer. I was shocked about you choosing the decathlon. So what made you come to that decision?
It was definitely like one of those things where it was, you've been doing hurdles and long jump your whole life. Why don't you venture out, do some other things, see what maybe other things you could be good at. And I thought to myself, like, well, I'm good at all the jumps, I'm good at all the runs. I can throw a little bit. And then it hit me. I was like, try out the multi-event. So even when I was younger, I used to do pentathlons all the time. And I think that was about as far as it went, as far as me doing multi-events. And so I think my junior year, my dad was like, all right, we're going to start training for the multi. You're going to be a decathlete. I was like, okay. So, it was definitely one of those things where I looked at all the events. I was like, okay, yeah, I think I can do this. And Then I came across pole vault, and I was like, I don't I don't know what to do here. So that was definitely a big transition for me, learning how to pole vault, and it's been going really well. I've been, hitting PRs in practice, almost every week from since the start of this past year. So I've been, really happy with where I'm at, and how things are going training wise, and how everything else is going with school, and just being up here, the atmosphere, the team, and I'm just really happy and looking forward to, what we can do this upcoming season.
What is there somebody that you kind of looked at as an example, as to, okay, well, this guy, multidimensional. I think, for me, I'm not saying you are him, but from a athletic build, and a very skilled build, you have a lot of traits that Ashton Eaton had. Is there someone that you kind of looked up to, or you said, okay, this is how this person did it, and you kind of took after when it comes to molding your technique, if you will, as a decathlon athlete?
Definitely Ashton Eaton was one of the bigger names that I've definitely been looking at, even a few years ago when I was just getting into it, and I was like, okay, well, what were his best events? And I compared that to what my best events were, and they were kind of similar, sprints, jumps, and I was like, okay, well, he's not a slouch in the throws or the pole vault, so it's definitely something that I have to keep working on each and every day. And also another big name, my own teammate from last year, TJ Lawson, he went to the Olympic trials this past year, and he didn't do as good as he wanted to, but still, I mean, having that teammate of Olympic caliber type athlete, and to be able to train with him every day last year, that was something that definitely really helped me, and really pushed me, like, okay, I know I can get to where he's at, and I know if I, do all the right things, and stay focused, and just stay healthy. Even so, like, being healthy is a big part. If I'm not healthy, if I'm not, getting my body ready to, go through 10 events and do them all well, I'm not going to be as great as I want to be. So definitely being around him, and then just watching big names, also Garrett Scantling. I've been really paying attention to him because he just came back on the scene in the multi-world, and he's been blowing up a storm, doing really well at the Olympics this past year. So definitely focusing on what they've been doing for training wise, and how they've been preparing themselves, and kind of modeling what I'm doing after that, and working with my coaches. And it's been a great year so far. So I'm happy with it.
How is life in Kent, Ohio compared to Orlando, Florida? It is
cold. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It is ridiculously cold. But the good thing is, I was born in Minnesota, lived in Virginia for a little bit, and my dad grew up in Pennsylvania, or Harrisburg, PA, and my sister in Pittsburgh, PA. So, we're no strangers to cold, except for maybe my mom, because she is from the Caribbean. But our family's definitely no stranger to cold. So I've been acclimated to it, and I'm blessed enough to have a field house and indoor facility that's, really well, and can keep it always 70 degrees in the field house. So it's always warm. It's always, good training ground. And it's nice because we were able to hold our conference meet this year. So our conference championship meet. And I'm really happy about that, get the home crowd going, and, get full capacity, and just have a good old time with it. So it's, yeah, go ahead.
So we'll get to a little bit more specifics about your time so far at Kent State, the great things that you were able to do in the indoor season last year.
Yeah.
But the one thing I've always admired about you is you are a fiery competitor. I remember Alex in the ninth grade was jumping 23 feet in a long jump, almost 24 feet. I think it was 23.8, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that was my junior year. My best mark was 23.8, something like that. Yeah, so it's it was out there. It was definitely a good mark.
So I remember, and this is the one I was thinking about it a couple days ago. It was state championship meet. Alex ran the 100 hurdles, the 300 hurdles, 110 hurdles, 300 hurdles, the long jump, and the 4x4. And you were going, this is the 300 hurdles. This was day 2. We were at IMG Academy. And there was this kid, I believe, I forgot his name, but he was from Northside.
Yep.
And
I remember Tyler Rhodes. Yeah, I was definitely remember him. Me and him went back and forth, freshman, sophomore year, or my freshman, sophomore. I think he was a junior and senior. Yeah.
That dude, I remember watching him in the prelims. I was like, ooh, like this is like, he finally has some competition.
Yeah.
And he had the fastest time coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in that race, you were losing coming over the stretch. And then all of a sudden, as you're coming around the turn, bam, it's just like something hit.
Yeah.
And you won very comfortably. But it was clear, like he was, out ahead. And then all of a sudden, something just snapped, and you took home that state championship. That's something I will always remember. Tell me where that competitive spirit comes from. That when that, like, people say in sports, that dog mentality. Like, I'm not gonna lose no matter what. And as a freshman, that was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my entire life.
And I think I definitely had it since I was young. My parents instilling in me, like, if you're gonna do something, do it to the best of your ability. Don't shorten yourself. Don't give half of whatever you got. If you come home and you feel like you still got more in the tank, you didn't give your best. So, especially my freshman year, we came in. My dad, me and my dad, we had a big plan. We were like, you know what? Let's go and shock the world. Go out and win the state championship. It's definitely something that was attainable. And as the season went on, I gained more and more confidence. Started winning a whole lot. I hadn't lost a race yet my freshman year, and so coming up to the state championship, and it was really interesting because I remember watching him. He was a heat in front of me in prelims, and I was like, dang, he's doing 39. I was like, 39 low. I was like, shoot, I haven't gone 39 low all year. I was like, all right, well, I gotta do it today. So I think I went 39 like 5 or like 39.6.
Yeah.
In that first prelim, something like that. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, that felt smooth. That felt good. And I just remember going in the final. I told myself, I was like, don't lose. I was like, don't short yourself. You can beat him. You can. He got that good. He had a good start. He had one of the best starts I've seen in a while in hurdles. So I was like, oh my goodness, all right. Well, I guess I gotta go get him now. So I just remember hearing my dad. He was actually at like the start of the 100 in the stands, or like a little bit before, like by the long jump area in between. I just remember like, you got to do it now. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. So I just told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get a state championship. And I remember, I think it was right after that race, I just like broke down. I was like, no way did I just win a state championship. Like, that was crazy.
That was your second one.
Yeah.
That was your third one. I'm sorry. That was because you won the long jump, you won the 100.
Oh, not freshman year. I won sophomore year. Yeah, my freshman year, I think I got second.
In the hurdle?
In the long jump.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then I won I think I won the 110 hurdles, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. Like, this feels good. I want to do this again. So I came back 300s. I was like, you know what, go get it. And that's all I thought.
It's funny. I was sitting up at the top of the bleachers it was just like a group of like 10 older guys, because the household name. So the way they did it in Florida, everybody competed on the same 2 days.
Yeah.
It was a train wreck.
Yeah. It was crazy, but yeah, it worked.
It did work. But that meet was so stacked, because you got to remember, you had American Heritage was there. At the time, American Heritage had Anthony Swartz, Tyson Campbell.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but they were the number one team in the nation, or for the sprints. Miami Northwestern, that was the powerhouse that was there. They had that, I forgot his name, but he was running 35, 36.
Yeah. Shoot, I can I think it was Thomas Burns.
Thomas Burns, yep.
Thomas Burns, yeah.
Thomas Burns. But I'm sitting up in the stands, and I got these guys from Miami, got these guys from Jacksonville. And that was funny. That was actually the race that Swartz got upset in the 100. But
yeah,
after your race in the 110 hurdles, I remember they were like, "Who is that?" It's
yeah,
like, who is that? And I was like, "Listen, dog, that's a freshman. That's a freshman." And
yeah,
so that kind of, and they were just like, "Wow," like, "How is he only
yeah.
a freshman?" I was like, "God, listen, you got to keep watching." But that leads me to my next question. Transitioning from your success at TFA and on the AAU circuit and all of that stuff, you don't know anything about losing, or you know,
Yeah, and
or
not to. I try not to.
yeah. You come in with the winning mentality. College is a different beast, and after this, we're going to jump into that. How have you been able to transition that mindset on a bigger stage, on a tougher stage, that will to always compete and not to lose? How is that translated for you up at Kent State?
It's definitely, my mindset definitely changed a lot. More of coming from like oh yeah, I'm the big dog, big freshman on campus, to more like there's always a bigger fish. Like there's always somebody out there that's running faster time. So it definitely put in my head like, okay, I can't stop working. Like I always got to keep going, keep working, keep doing everything I can to be the best I can be. So it was just a big mindset change of like there's always more work to be done, and you can always get faster. So it was definitely a bigger push for me, which I needed to go and get what I did done last year. So I was really happy with that.
Why track and field? And I asked this because you played football. You were a really good football player, really good basketball player. I don't know where, somewhere online, you dunked over that 7-foot kid from Winterman Prep. So we know you got the hops, the jump shot, and all that stuff. Why track and field?
It was just, I guess I was most passionate about it, and I know basketball was like my biggest love, but I was truly, it was weird because loved basketball the most. I was best at football, but track and field was like the best of both worlds. So, and I think later on down the road, especially my end of my junior year and my senior year, I was really like, okay, I love this sport more than anything. Like this has been in my life my whole life, and you know, why cut it short when there's so much more to be lived, so much great things to be done, to be accomplished. So I was like, you know what, I love any of the three sports, but I know that track and field is just taking my heart away right now. So, you know, it's going with it.
Well, you can definitely see that passion every time you step out on the track and do the field events. I want you to tell the people, who is Alex Shields? Not track and field related. You know, they're going to hear plenty about that.
Yeah,
Who
definitely.
is Alex Shields off the track? What makes you unique? What is it about you that stands out? Go ahead and promote yourself on this. Who is Alex Shields?
I'm definitely a kid and I'll always tell people I'm a kid. Like I'm not a grown man yet. I don't pay my bills. I don't live on myself. You know, I live in a dorm, but you know, I'm a kid who's always fun to be around. I feel like I'm always fun to be around. I'm always got a smile on my face. You know, I'll try to make you laugh even in the worst situations. Be respectful about it, of course, but you know, I'm always somebody here to talk to. I'm always gonna work hard no matter what. If some needs get done, if I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna find somebody who does. You know, I'm one of those people who will, you know, get after it either way. You know, and I just love the opportunity to help people, and that's like kind of, I don't want to get too deep into it, but that's kind of like one of my future things. Like I want to be a coach. I want to come back and coach other kids, coach, you know, the youth or even high school and college kids. Like and it just reminds me like this was me one day, and I remember how important my coaches were, like you and my dad and Coach Dean and Coach Gary. Like you guys really put me in the spot where I am, or put me in place to be where I am today. So, you know, it's kind of like one of those coming back and helping the younger generations.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you were very coachable. That's for sure. One of the things I'm actually curious, who in the family do you resemble sense of style? Who do you get it from? Because I see
Ooh,
you posting clothes and all
yeah,
this stuff. Who in
yeah.
are you the trendsetter, or do you get it from somebody else in the family?
I think I get a little bit from my dad and a little bit from like my sister and my mom. I get it from a little bit of everybody, you know. I think the confidence of my sister, the style of my dad, and the swagger of my mom. Like my mom will step out in anything, just be like, boom, I'm here. And my dad always comes with fit. So I'm like, all right, cool. And my sister got, you know, she always comes, she has great style too. So, you know, I gotta try and keep up with them and try and show off a little bit. But we definitely a style family. We definitely like to keep it classy, keep it clean, you know, make sure we sharp in every situation. You know, I'm always trying to fix up my hair a little bit. You know, I'm mixing it up. You know, I'm letting it grow out a little bit. So you'll twist it up, braid it, you know, whatever. So, you know, always try to keep it something different.
I would think you have to in Ohio. It's too cold for a bald head.
Yeah,
You have a
I
headache.
came in last year with close to a bald head, and I was like, yeah, never again. I learned my lesson the hard way. So,
Man, what is being at Kent State taught you about yourself? Maybe that you didn't discover when you were down here.
definitely like self-sufficiency. You know, I always relied on my parents to do everything for me, but um, definitely like learning how to get my own groceries, do my own, you know, everyday things, and make sure that, you know, if I don't have a ride to practice, all right, take the bus, you know, find some way to get everything done. So definitely, I think self-sufficiency is the right word for that.
I had the question in my head, and then it
Yeah,
just, for whatever reason, went away. And it was a
yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
So, college life,
Mm-hmm.
what is it like as a student athlete? Like, I think people kind of, and I had young man by the name of Samuel Austin. He was a all-star 800 runner for Oviedo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now at the University of Florida, and he went in detail of how difficult it is, and you know, people think that it's just, you know, they get a scholarship and you know it's all free and stuff, but there's so much more to.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me how you've been able to balance it, adjust, and I don't necessarily know if anyone masters it, but they find what works for them. How have you been
Yeah.
able to do that?
It's definitely like what I recommend for all the young generations coming up. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's the biggest mistake student athletes can make, is not asking for help and thinking they can do it alone. Like, you don't have to. You can make it so much easier on yourself. And I definitely have. I have advisors, my coaches, teammates, you know, friends, family. You know, I'm always like, hey, can you help me with this, or can you like give me some guidance or whatever.
Yeah,
So it's always a situation where like I'm not having to do it alone. You know, at times, of course, I'm gonna have to. You know, there's times where I have to take responsibility for myself. I'm like, okay, I got to get this done. I got to go out and get this. You know, whatever it is. But it's definitely asking for help. Is somebody's always around. Somebody's already here to assist you. So it's good.
just a couple more topics, and we're going to get to our rapid fire. Then we're going to get you on out of here for your weightlifting practice. So you came into Kent State, great success in the indoor season, I believe. Third in the pentathlon. That's indoor, correct?
Yeah, in the heptathlon.
Heptathlon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Excuse me. But then, unfortunately, you suffered a setback. You injured your hamstring, and that kind of hampered, you know, your outdoor season. How have you been able to kind of deal with that from a mental standpoint, especially you're a young kid, you know, coming in, you have all these big goals, and then you have a setback like that. How have you been able to grow from it in all aspects of not just your track and field career, but just in life in general?
Definitely staying more positive about everything, because last year I definitely got down on myself a lot. I was like, you know what, like maybe this isn't right for you. Like, you know, I keep myself healthy during the season, but you know, it's a lot of mental. It's a lot more mental than people think. It's a lot of like keep yourself, motivated and staying positive about everything, even when there's hardships or when you might get hurt. Like I've tweaked myself a little bit this whole year itself, and just know like, okay, take a few days, take like a week, chill, relax, stretch, rehab, and then come back and hit it hard again. So definitely my mind's even that changed to you got this. Like don't stress yourself over it. If you do all the right things, do everything that you need to do, you're gonna succeed. You're gonna do what you want to do in life. So it's definitely a don't stress yourself type thing.
Have you been able to rely on your success in the indoor season, going back into the archives, looking at the things that you were able to accomplish, in your training, the fall, the winter leading up to next season?
Yeah, especially last year, like from last year to now, I was a little overweight even in the indoor season last year because we had COVID and we got quarantined a bunch. So, gained COVID pounds and still being able to see that I get second in the hurdles and third in the hep out indoors, even being like 10 pounds overweight. I'm like, now I'm training, I'm lighter, I'm stronger. I'm like, okay, you can do this while you're overweight. Let's see what you can do while you're in shape and you're strong, you faster now. So, all my numbers have been improving. Everything I PR'd in almost every event so far, at least in practice. So, I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I'm just saying, for everybody else is out there, beware, because I'm coming.
That's what I was going to ask. How are you coming out this year, man? How are you coming out? How's Kent State coming out?
Yeah, even our team, like our team is coming out. We've all been PRing at practice. We've all been throwing out numbers that are crazy, ridiculous. Our vaulters trying to go, 575 or 530, I think. 530. Yeah. And so they're our throwers trying to throw, big, super big numbers, throw over 200 feet this year, and long jumpers trying to go over 24, 25 feet. So definitely going to be a big year, and I'm super excited with how even me and my teammate that I practice with, the other multi, we're both trying to make it to the big league or to the show this year. So we got our eyes set on this year, and I think we put one together, I think we'll be good.
What are your long-term goals in this sport?
In the sport, just definitely running professionally. I want to be able to run for 10, 15 plus years, after college. And if I can't get there, then I can't get there. It's my time to stop running and go into the workforce. But, I want to run as long as possible, at least staying healthy wise. So definitely try and run my legs off, at that point.
Last two questions, and then we'll get to some quick rapid fire. What is the change that you want to see in this sport? And I'm asking this, we ask pros this, but from a college athlete, what's the change that you want to see in the sport, especially, as, you're the future of the sport. So what is the change that you want to see in it?
Definitely like giving us the respect that we deserve. Because I know a lot of times tracks looked on as like the stepchild sport, or the sport that not everybody does is like punishment. But I'm like, no, it's not punishment. We're really like some of the best athletes in the world. Like we might not be the strongest athletes, but we're the fastest. We can jump the highest. We can jump the farthest. We can throw the farthest. And we can do things that most people's bodies aren't supposed to do normally. And I just definitely want to see that, okay, track and field athletes they're that guy, like, and that girl. And definitely inclusion, even with other sports, like I'm definitely positive about it, because I'm starting to see a lot of changes, a lot of more promoting. And something I really enjoyed was in the NFL, you heard about, I can't remember, DK Metcalf. He ran one of the races. I was like, that is perfect for the sport, for football and for track, including those guys and showing them like, okay, these guys might be fast in the field, but track fast, nobody can compare to track fast. So definitely, yeah, I think DK, I remember in his interview, I think he was like, yeah, they got my respect. Like they're that fast. So it's definitely good to see things like that come about from the sport, and I'd like to see more of that type of ordeal happening.
You have a platform as a college athlete to affect change.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look to use that platform to do?
Definitely to either start, my own career path and then eventually give back to my community. But, I definitely got to get myself right first before you help anybody else. That's, one of the big things. You can't help anybody else with a half plate or, half bowl of whatever you got. It's definitely give whatever you have, but, you want to make sure that you're steady and you're able to get back to the community and still, have yourself right first.
Yeah. Take me through the most memorable race that you've run in your career.
In my career, wow.
I had to throw a doozy in before we get to the rapid fire.
Yeah. Most memorable, I think my junior year in 110 hurdles when, actually, no, it was my sophomore year. I remember, I absolutely smashed the first hurdle. I was like, came in, I think after the first hurdle, I was like seventh and like walked down everybody. So I was like, that was crazy. And then I remember the crowd was high. They're like, woo, woo. And so that was definitely one of my most favorite races right there.
Oh man, I'm actually sad I missed that one. I need to find to see if there's a video somewhere of that one. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, I think there is. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. It's like 2017 110 hurdle state champions. Like someone look it up or something. But
yeah, I'm gonna look it up because I wasn't there for that one. I'm actually mad that I missed that one. I've seen it now before, but
I think that was the first year the championship moved to UNF, and it was at North Florida and it was an IMG. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. All right, so we have a segment called Down the Home Stretch. It is where I ask you a few rapid fire questions. You can answer them to the best of your ability as fast as you can. If you don't, nobody answers them fast anyway, so it really does not matter.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Who are you taking in their prime, you or your dad?
Myself, any day.
Anything?
Anything.
Okay.
Actually, except for high jump. He's got me in high jump still, but definitely me.
Okay. I can dig that. Tyreek Hill, Usain Bolt, DK Metcalf.
Usain, it's Usain Bolt any day of the week. Like, this dude ran in his shorts or in his sweatpants and tennis shoes and tied the NFL record in the 40. Like, they need to stop playing with Usain Bolt. This dude is on another level.
And guarantee you he didn't train.
Yeah, I guarantee he didn't train. He wasn't training. If he was doing light work. He was just doing, some tempo runs or, just to stay in shape. But if this dude took a year and really trained, he would blow them out the water. Easy.
Yeah. I'm really, really hoping he does. What is a meal that you could not live without?
A meal?
Yeah.
Wings any day. That's my favorite.
Where's the best one? Yeah.
Ooh, there's this wing stop in Orlando that's crazy good. And I think they got some good wings. But my personal favorite always is Buffalo Wild Wings. There's one in Florida. In Orlando, it's like right by it's not too far from my house. And they got the big old wings and I'm loving it. I get lemon pepper and Chipotle barbecue every time.
Oh man, you're about that wing life. I like that.
I love them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Top 3 songs on your playlist before me.
My goodness. I'm about to look at my phone at that one. Shoot, I don't know. There's a lot. I got a whole playlist. I just press play.
Just pick 3 of them. Don't matter which one.
Shoot, I can't remember the name. I'm gonna look very fast.
You're good.
Let's see. I know it's at the top of my playlist too. That's the crazy thing. There's Under the Sun by Dreamville featuring J. Cole and DaBaby. Okay. I love that song. Three-Headed Goat by Lil Durk. Of course, I got to get that in. I can't remember the last one I listened to. ISIS by Joyner Lucas.
Okay.
That's probably that song gets me like super high. I don't know why, but it's just like I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I'm in the mode. So
okay. All right.
yeah.
All right. Okay. You had to pick someone to play your character. Okay, let me rephrase that. If you had to pick an actor to play your life in a movie, who would it be?
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, I can see that. If you had to pick someone to narrate your life, who are you going to choose?
Ooh, Morgan Freeman. He is the king of narrators. I don't know why, but I love him when he narrates stuff.
It puts me to sleep. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he does. I'll say my second choice was gonna be oh my gosh, why am I gonna brain fart? Shoot, he played it's a black actor, he's older.
What movie did he play in?
He was in a lot. He was in Avengers. Why can I not think of his name?
Anthony.
No, not Anthony Mackie. He's he has an eye patch. Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name.
Okay, we're gonna because I forgot.
Everybody says him and Lawrence Fishburne look alike. They don't look alike at all. Like they always get mistaken. He was in Pulp Fiction. He was a black guy in Pulp Fiction. Why can I not think of his name?
I can't.
He played with John Travolta. He was it was him and it was them two. Shoot, I can't remember.
We're gonna come back to that one.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
The food that you had to live without, that you could live without.
That I could live without?
Yeah.
Seafood. I could live without seafood.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Back to was it Samuel L. Jackson or Ving Rhames?
Sam Jackson. Jackson, that's what it was.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like he would incorporate the funniness of my life because my life is like there are so many funny parts in comedy and just like silly moments. I feel like he would narrate perfectly. So
okay,
definitely Sam Jackson. Yeah.
Couple more questions. Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Ooh. I think it was one of my old coaches. He said, there's two words: slow down. Just slow down. And it was just I was like, what do you mean? He was like, think about anything in your life that you're doing and just slow it down and just take it as it is. Don't try and rush it. Don't try and overthink it. Don't try and just slow down, take your time, and just come do it to the best of your ability. So that was really big.
I had to borrow this question from my boys over at Two Black Runners. Definitely check out their podcast. Who on the team has the most Black Air Force energy? Air Force One.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow! My team, most Black Air Force energy. Probably one of my best friends, Dejan Manning. This dude is wild. But he is wild, but he's the coolest cat in the world. It's my boy. I love him to death. And he's ready to go at any moment. If I need anything, I could always call him up. Like, yo, I need some help or something. Or like, yo, these dudes trying to tussle. And he's like, all right, where they at? So he's definitely he's my boy for real, and I love him to death. He's my boys back home. Cam, Lake. I always got to shout them out, and my friend Sean. So I always got to shout them out whenever I can, because they mean a lot to me.
Yeah, big time players. Cam, definitely remember Cam, Lake Ellis, all at Bryant University, starting cornerback. Got to have love for the squad. Last question: what would it mean to win an NCAA title?
Wow, that would mean the world. I saw my mom, go and do all that stuff. My mom and my dad and my sister was an All-American volleyball. Just being able to call yourself a champion and an All-American at the end of the day is something that will always stay forever. Like, that'll always be in the record books. I'll always be there, and your name will be passed on the walls forever. So, that would mean the world to me, and I'm trying to go get it this year. So, You know, the big number 13-1, 13-2 is those big numbers I need to hit for outdoors, and probably 730 is probably what I need to hit indoors. But
hey, make it happen, man.
Yeah,
just go make
definitely.
it happen. Tell the people where they can follow you.
Follow me on Instagram at BanjoShields11, and I don't need to put my Snapchat out there. Y'all can find that. Y'all can ask me for that later.
Yeah, let's just stick the gram. Banjo Shields 11.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow him. Alex, brother, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you all for your support. Do me a quick favor. Go on Twitter, Lactic Acid _pod. Follow me there. Follow me on Instagram, Lactic Acid Podcast, and the same. Oh, I'm sorry. lacticacid.org. The website is out. There's a couple articles already written. Got a chance to talk with Zion Richards-Ross and Trey Hardy back at the Prefontaine Classic. Did an article on Abby Cooper, 2 inspirational articles I ask you to read. And you can also find all of the podcast episodes. Follow the YouTube page. And like I said, if you just go on the website, it's all there for you. You can see this podcast and listen to this podcast on Apple, Google Play, and Spotify. I appreciate your support. Alex, brother, we wish you the best this season.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Always great. Yep, always great chatting with you, brother. And we'll catch you all next time.